Okay, so we're going to talk about some things that are in the wild. I think last week we talked about deepfake stuff that was making its way onto TikTok and so on from Sora. But let's talk about some actual, like, real devastating scams and disinformation. I'm going to share, we're going to kind of build on this. We're going to share 3 different instances that were reported over the past couple of weeks. They cover a couple different things. One is good old-fashioned scam targeting an organization with wanting some like financial or IP information. And so that one is this story that's from the Times, and it is titled Darktrace Boss. So Darktrace is a security company. Says, I was deepfaked and I couldn't tell the difference.
Ooh.
So the story here is that the CEO for Darktrace was the victim. We'll put victim in quotes because she wasn't the target. She was the voice that was used. She was the victim of a deep fake scam during a company board meeting held shortly after the group's $4.4 billion takeover by a U.S. private equity firm. So essentially, she was in this meeting and people on her team started to get voicemails from her. So she's secluded away where she can't like interact with anything. And then people in her team start getting these notifications on their phone that the CEO has left you a voicemail.
Oh,
and in that voicemail was a cloned voice of her. That gets to this part of the story. She walks out of the room and her team was blank-faced and said, we just got a voicemail from you asking for specific details on the business. And she said, no, I was in this meeting. Darktrace, which is an AI-based company, they use AI to counter cyber attacks. What they found is that this is like a combination attack. So when you create your deep fake package, like the thing that you're going to launch against people, you're starting with like your trusted source, your authority, your brand, or your voice that's here. And that was the CEO's voice. And then you have to figure out how you're going to distribute it. Now, what the attacker's realizing here is that doing live deep fake voice calls is still really difficult. And I've done some of these. Usually I hook up a voice synthesizer with a clone voice to a large language model to do it, because right now it's hard to, in real time, wear somebody else's voice as a mask and just speak. That's much harder to do right now. And so the attacker realizes that limitation, but they knew that they could create a good clone of her voice and make it sound really legitimate as a voicemail. And so the trick then is to, how do I get a voicemail without somebody picking up and interacting with me? And of course, there are services that do that all the time. You and I probably get ringless voicemails on our phone all the time from different vendors, where maybe you get like a flash of a ring for a half second. And like before you have a chance to pick it up, there's a voicemail that's just been dropped. That is a service. There's companies like VoiceDrop and others that do that. As soon as you realize those two things, I can create a deep fake voice, simulated voicemail for 20 or 30 seconds, and I can drop that on somebody's phone without them having the chance to pick it up.
I didn't know that was how that happened. I'd idly wondered where these came from and just assumed I missed them.
Yep.
This is wild. Ringless voicemail marketing.
Yep.
Woof.
You looking that up right now?
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing, Perry. I didn't know about that at all.
That is the thing. And that explains all those weird ones that you get right now. And so the thing that we have to realize is that if there's ever any technology or pattern that's useful from a marketing or PR standpoint, it's useful from a scammer standpoint.
Yeah. No, in a big way.
And that's always going to be the case.
Yeah, because I mean, what is the difference between marketing and scamming? And right.
It's all distribution of information and influence.
Yeah, it's all influence. Yeah.
So story number 2, this one comes from the UK. And this was a Tory, which was one of the parties, MP, said that he reported a deepfake video depicting him announcing that he had joined Reform UK to the police. So this UK politics, I don't understand all of it. But basically, he's making a political announcement that, or the deepfake has him making a political announcement that would be something that is pretty controversial, it would be socially challenging.
From my limited understanding, it would be similar if like Ron DeSantis announced he was joining the Democratic Party or something like that in U.S. politics. So a deep fake is someone switching sides, essentially.
Yes. Yeah. And so he's reporting that as a deep fake. And one of the things that's always hard to get on these is after they've been out in the wild for a long time and then somebody disproves it, many of the reputable news sources immediately pull that down because they're trying not to propagate it anymore. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes these are hard to find, but I did go on a little bit of a tear this morning and found somebody on TikTok that did a little explainer video and they show it. And this is kind of the exact same way that I would talk about it. And so I figured I'd show this TikTok video real quick as she's talking about the technique that was used to create the video. That way we also get a chance to see a clip of it.
Fullfact.org?
Fullfact.org. 46.2 thousand followers.
How did this video
coronavirus is something none of us in our lifetime have ever experienced.
Become this video?
George Freeman, and I represent Mid-Norfolk. Today I'm crossing the floor to join Reform UK.
With a little help from AI, or so it seems. Listen to this.
The Conservative Party has lost its way. We've abandoned the principles that made Britain great.
It sounds a bit stiff and unnatural, especially when you compare it to MP George Freeman's real speaking voice in the original video.
You've seen from the Prime Minister and the Chief Scientist, the Chief Medical Officer, and today the Chancellor, the Health Secretary, that the government is giving this absolute 100% attention.
But it's not just the audio that's been changed. This video also managed to make Mr. Freeman's mouth match up to the fake audio clips.
Reform offers real change.
This is what's known as a lip-sync deep fake, where real footage is manipulated by AI to match fake audio. Here is another example of it, used on a video of Bella Hadid.
3. Israel faced a tragic attack by Hamas. I can't stay silent.
Mr. Freeman has denied the clip is real, saying he has not left the Conservative Party to join Reform UK and has no intention of doing so. If you want to get better at spotting deep fakes, we have a guide on how to do this over at fullfact.org.
Okay.
Interesting.
I don't know that I fully agree that his voice sounded unnatural for the way that he would be delivering something that's kind of a concession.
Yeah.
So you would pull a little bit of the emotion out and tamper it down. So I don't know that I agree with the way that she characterized that, but most of the other information was spot on.
Yeah, everything else seemed right. But I agree. The audio was really good on that fake. That was a very good fake.
Yeah.
And granted, there is something to being very familiar with someone. And so if this politician is someone that she or other people were very familiar with, maybe it stands out more. I don't know. But
yeah,
it seemed good to me.
Maybe so. All right, I'm going to share one more. And then I'll say, for those that weren't watching the second version or the second example that they showed, that deepfake wasn't as good.
The Bella Hadid one? No.
But suffice it to say, if you know which video re-lip sync tool to use right now, it is nearly indistinguishable. I've been able to make some ones that I've been really happy with recently, which also means that the world's in a scary place.
You sent me some tests, and one of them completely indistinguishable.
Yeah. Well, and that gets to another thing is when I talk about deep fakes, I always talk about there's the deception, which is the person saying the thing or the communicating the message. Then there's the packaging and distribution aspect of it. How do I make that presentation something that would be believable? That means it needs to be packaged appropriately. So if there should be room noise in the audio, you need to add that back in if it's been taken out by the processing. Yeah. If it's somebody talking to a crowd, maybe you need to hear some coughs in the background and some moving around. All of that needs to be packaged well for the deepfake to be believable. And then you have to figure out, how do I push that out into the world? And I think this last one that I want to show is a really good example of how the packaging is getting more sophisticated right now. And I'm going to share this. This came from a LinkedIn post that I saw. The article that's linked to is paywalled. So I just want to go off the LinkedIn post. But there's an election cycle going on right now in Ireland. And one of the major political candidates in this deepfake video is basically saying that they are, that everybody else is dropping out. And so there's only one person now that will become the de facto person. So they're trying to disenfranchise every other voter, right? So that they won't go to the polls Now, the way that they package this actually feels really good. So I'm going to play this video, and then you can tell me what you like and don't like about it. Well, don't like is subjective in this.
In the last few minutes at a Catherine Connolly campaign event, Catherine Connolly has confirmed her withdrawal from the presidential race.
It is with great regret that I announce the withdrawal of my candidacy and the ending of my campaign.
No, Catherine!
Now that Catherine Connolly has withdrawn from the race, what does this now mean for the upcoming election on Friday? Well, simply put, Friday's election is now cancelled. It will no longer take place as previously planned. And as for Heather Humphreys, she will become the winner automatically and will be appointed tomorrow.
So interestingly, I could see some artifacts on that video with the guy at the end around his face and mouth that were pretty obvious.
How often do you see some things like where there's IP breakup from the way that things are being transmitted, though?
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm wondering how many people like that don't know that it's a deepfake would immediately pick up on that, or they'd think it's like a transmission artifact.
Yeah, I mean, like on a casual viewing, that was pretty darn flawless. I'm not familiar with RTE.
Yeah.
I don't know if that logo is wrong.
Let me look it up. Good question.
No, that's their freaking logo.
Yeah,
that's their logo.
A lot of those kinds of things are easy to fix now. And the software doesn't necessarily mess those up as much now as they used to in the past. So like her initial intro, as she's talking, that looked really legitimate to me.
Yep.
The only thing that didn't feel right is when the candidate was doing her dropout speech, the person that yelled "No, Catherine" in it sounded a little bit too prominent and close to a microphone.
I agree. It didn't sound off mic, but then also I actually excused that in my head as we were going.
Yeah, and I think we probably would if we believed this to be real. Like if we didn't know we were looking at a deep fake, we were just like, oh yeah, that person may just be close to a mic that's off screen somewhere.
Yeah.
This, I think, is one of the best packaged deepfake productions that I've seen. And that's the way that I'm thinking about a lot of deepfakes right now that are going to have social or political consequences. That the well-produced ones are going to be really well-produced. And like even at the end of this, as he's wrapping up, you can hear sirens in the background and cityscape. Listen to this again.
Previously planned. And as for Heather Humphreys, she will become the winner automatically and will be appointed tomorrow.
Yeah. It was the environmental noise is extremely good. I did notice that time around
it
that
cuts out and gets really quiet for a second.
Not that specifically. There's a little security camera on waist level that it makes no sense where it would be placed. So there's sometimes still these little things, but I feel like it just floats right on by on a casual viewing.
Oh wait, no, I actually think I'm going to pull that back up on screen.
Do you see the camera that I was talking about?
I do. You're talking about this one over here?
Yeah, that looks weird. It's like at a waist
That would be
level.
a license plate reader.
Oh, you think? Isn't this a walkway? Kind of don't know where he is.
I'd have to geolocate that and look at it, but that looks like a gateway that somebody might be able to drive through or walk through.
That could
I wouldn't
be
put
there.
it past them to have one there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing that seems weird. But yeah, it also is weird in a way that's plausibly weird. Like that could just be there. Like, if it's like for a license plate, or I guess for trying to stop people from coming into this one zone, because it looks like a courtyard maybe.
I'm going to geolocate this real quick.
Are you?
I'm going to try.
So you're going to throw it into ChatGPT.
I'm going to throw this into ChatGPT. I'm going to put on some extended thinking and say, tell me where this is. So tell me where this is and see if you can find a photo from the same perspective. Because I'm assuming that they took an image of that reporter already reporting there and they just re-lip synced it.
I bet you're right.
So my assumption is that all of that is just there and it's standard.
The building looks like Leinster House in Dublin based on style and accent. Oh, the location seems to be near the Dale entrance on Kildare Street courtyard. Yeah, man. It's so crazy how fast this is. I remember when you sent it a photo out of a car window on like a random highway in California and it picked out exactly where you were. The geolocating functionality of ChatGPT is pretty crazy.
All right, so now it's searching different images online.
I'll look up the same house. Oh, I found it.
Okay.
And wouldn't you know it? Here, let me just go ahead and open this fully up in a new tab.
I'll stop sharing.
Let me see. Can I make this full screen? Let me just do all these cookies.
I see it. I think I see it.
Yeah.
There it is.
There we are. I think this is the backdrop of that video. Here, pull that video back up. Yeah. I mean, all right. And with that up, I think actually I can flash mine in front. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yep. And then I got one more to show too, because my ChatGPT just came back. Boom.
Yeah, look at that. No gate there though.
Yeah. But if we go back to this one, it was just past the gate.
Actually, and your photo from ChatGPT is very similar to my photo here from Alamy stock. If you pull up that ChatGPT again, and then I'll flash mine above it, mine is slightly further back from that.
Right.
Because you can see the gate and that camera on the left, the glass building on the right. Same sort of thing. So, okay. So that camera I thought was weird is real.
When we know something's a deep fake, we try to find reasons to justify our knowledge that it's a deep fake.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that we can trust our senses anymore. I think that was a super well put together deep fake. There's some audio artifacts that I could hear every now and then, but those would all be explainable for other reasons.
Broadcast
Same thing
media.
with any image glitching. Yeah. And the other thing is that we're looking at these on really big screens. Everybody else is looking at them on phone.
On your phone. Yep.
So that's that.
What is it? It's from Digital Folklore, and I know it's not exactly the same, but we talked about the Gutenberg parentheses, the idea of like written text having a moment rather than being a shift forever. And we have it's wild to think we have shifted past seeing is believing when it comes to like video of something happening. Like even beyond, I mean, and we've had CG stuff forever, but really just that anyone can type anything into a thing and it will make it. That's crazy. Yeah, that is possible.
Well, and I'll say one more thing on packaging real quick. It's one thing to hear the clip of the person dropping out. It's another thing to like see the news wrapping it, right?
Yeah.
So the news opener, the news and now what's the state of things type of thing. That makes it feel way more credible than just that one little clip that somebody would hope would go viral.
Because it's part of a larger continuity. Yeah.
Yeah. And it gets to some things that like Cameron talks about in the class that we're doing together on deepfakes. He talks about things like continuity and verisimilitude. So does this thing feel true based on all of the other artifacts that are placed around it? And I think the people that put that together really were thinking through those kinds of lenses. And that's the way that I'm starting to think through things a lot as well. It's like, how do I put this nugget of deception within this broader production and think about it the way a TV or radio producer would?
Speaking of that course, that's coming up very soon, and there's now a discount code for our listeners. We should plug that in full. So it is the Deepfakes Ops class.
Yep.
Throw an extra S in there.
That is myself and Cameron Malin, who is the former behavioral profiler at the FBI, co-creator of the Cyber Behavioral Profiling Unit, their Cyber Behavioral Profiling Center, I guess, CBAC. And we're going to be talking about all things deepfakes, from the psychology to the way that a nation state or a high-level attacker would do it. Of course, some of the detection methodologies that are working, cognitive defenses, and then people are going to get their hands dirty making several of these, from voice cloning to images to video lip syncs, image animations, all that kind of stuff is going to be in there. And then how to potentially simulate those in an ethical way if you're wanting to do that in your organization, or how to tell your friends, family, parents, and kids about it.
And also the information, the packaging and all these things that you think about from a production standpoint that you might not think about if you're just someone coming into it from a curiosity.
That's exactly the way I think about it right now. I think about somebody that uses the tool as like the deepfake equivalent of a script kiddie. And then somebody that does what we just saw is like the deepfake equivalent of a nation state actor, like an advanced persistent threat level deepfake actor. And I think that the people that go through this class are going to quickly way bypass the script kiddie stage and be super, super dangerous thinkers, which is going to make them much more protected in real life.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Because, that is the layer when you take, it's going beyond just the tooling and you're connecting multiple tools together and you're thinking about broader themes and things like, yeah.
Yeah. You're putting like the hacker hoodie on for a second, saying, if I wanted to do this, how would I do it?
And right now, there is a code to get $150 off. $150 off. It's
$150 off.
FAIK 150, right?
Yep, FAIK 150. So if you use that now, or one of the things we opened up the other day is if somebody is severely negatively impacted by the government shutdown or an educational issue, something like that, where they're in severe financial hardship and they think this is going to help them in some way, either merely be encouraging because it gives them something to do while they're laid off or furloughed, or if it's going to help them advance their career or education and they just don't have the funds. On your honor system, you can use the code shutdown50 and that'll get you 50% off.
Gotcha.
But we really, really want people to use that on the honor system. So if you can afford it, please pay. This is valuable information. It takes a lot of our time and effort to put it together. If you are in severe need, we don't want that to be something that keeps you from being able to attend.
Yeah, because it is like personalized instruction with you and Cameron. Like this is
exactly
one-on-one time. Yeah. So
yeah.
Not just your like average pre-recorded thing that you're gonna like buy and complete homework for. So
no, we're not just throwing stuff out there. We're gonna tailor it to everybody that's there, spend individual time with them, make sure that they understand that we are focusing on their goals and that we're going to make everybody successful. And even more than being successful, I think when you go through something like this, you're moving from being a novice to like one of the top 1% or thereabouts of people who understand how this technology works and how it's being weaponized.
Check it out. Link in the show notes for you to sign up. Also, while you're down there, join the Discord. That's totally free. There's also, we've got a voicemail box at sayhi.chat/FAIK. I actually need to go check that voicemail box. It's been
people need to leave us some
there.
voicemails because I don't know that we've gotten any. At least I've not gotten an email saying that we've had any. So
I certainly haven't. Yeah. So
slide into our DMs.
Send us stories. Send us things you want to talk about. Leave a comment. But most of all, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for getting this far into the episode. And, I guess someone said they really wanted us to bring back calling the audience paperclips, and so I have to figure out a way to work that in. But I guess if y'all want to be paperclips, we'll all be paperclips together. Unless that happens between now and next Friday, I guess ignore all previous instructions. Try and have yourself a great weekend.
Later, paperclips.